Hey there. I was just thinking about one of the most common reasons I hear time and time again from women physicians who are burned out in their current work environment, but can't pull themselves away from it, right? Thinking about like a career pivot, for example, for years and years and years, but never really making the change, pushing through, right? Getting deeper and deeper into the burnout hole. One of the most common reasons I hear women physicians do this, right? Stay when they know they need to leave is because of this thought. I don't know if the grass is going to be greener on the other side. I don't know, right, if I'll be moving or jumping from the fire pan, right, into the fire. Another way I've heard this said is like, well, I'd rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't know, right? Have you heard any of these? Have you said any of these? If you are a burned out woman physician who's been that way for a while, I bet you have. It is by far the number one thought that I hear on consult calls with women physicians who are thinking about making a change because they are burned out, ultimately don't for months and months and years at a time. And so I wanted to just talk about that for a second. It's a really interesting, sneaky little thought that makes sense at the surface level, right? We know that medicine has problems in your setting and probably in other settings as well, right? Now the system is deeply flawed. And I hear what you're saying, right? Like just changing the job, right, is not necessarily like the whole thing, the whole fix, right? What I want to say to that is you're right. You don't know if the grass is greener on the other side. You don't know if you're going to be jumping from the fire pan into the fire. Maybe the devil you know, right, is better than the devil that you don't know. But all of that is predicated or presupposes, right, that you are going to be the same as you move from one place to another. In other words, the grass will not be greener on the other side, very likely, if you don't change first. So what am I saying here? We already know that we work in a broken healthcare system, that medicine is deeply flawed. There's so much working against us as physicians, and it's not getting better from a systemic perspective in so many ways, getting worse. Many of those things need to change, but they're going to take time and concerted effort and all of these things. They can't be changed immediately. But I think what is not talked about enough is that as the person, right, the physician in the healthcare system, there's so much, right, that we have been conditioned to tolerate, to treat ourselves, etc., that takes some work, right, some inner work, in other words, to unravel patterns, right, that if we don't address, it's our inner patterns that if we don't address, we absolutely can transfer them from one toxic job to another job, right? And it become toxic as well, or increasingly toxic as well. So what is that? That's like the pattern or the habit of saying yes to taking on more than is reasonable or possible for you. It's the pattern of saying yes when you really mean no because you don't want to let people down. It's the pattern of staying late every night to write the most immaculate, perfect notes, right? Because you want people to know that you're competent and you want to go the extra mile in your documentation, right? Is that pattern that can absolutely follow you to the next job and also create more burnout, right? Things like that. This is why it's so important that if you are experiencing burnout and considering a change, right, in your practice location or setting or the way you do medicine or not do medicine anymore, whatever that the case may be, that you take time to really work through the burnout and the inner patterns, right, that may have contributed and got you there. And this is, of course, not to say anything about this is not like taking the onus off of the system and all of those things that we know need to change, but it is about empowering you to be able to make a pivot, make a change if that's what you want to do, and know that the grass will be greener on the other side, not because the job is necessarily better or just because it's different, but because you are better, right? Because you've done the work to say no and let that be a complete sentence, right? You've done the work to break through perfectionism and people pleasing. You've learned to set boundaries and speak up for yourself. That takes work, right? It's easier said than done. And that's the kind of work that I love to do with women physicians. And on the other side of that, right, is our career pivots, right? I have many clients who have pivoted into incredible careers that suit them better, right? From that fire pan into, pharma and non-clinical medicine. I have clients who have stayed in medicine and rediscovered their love for it because they've done the inner work. I've had clients who have started businesses that are creating even more financial and time freedom and bandwidth for them, and everything in between, right? So what I'm saying is, if you are a woman physician, you're burned out, you probably think that the fix is to change jobs. Even though you think that, and that absolutely may be true for you, if you're listening to this video, the problem is that you've been thinking about it for years and still haven't made the move, right? Thinking about it for years, but still find yourself stuck. Probably because one of the thoughts that you have is that the grass may not be greener on the other side. You probably have some examples of that, right? You probably talked to some people who have made a switch and found it equally terrible, right? And so you have this very rational, logical reason to stay where you are. And what I want to say, just to reiterate, is that you're right. The grass is not greener on the other side unless you are different. You do the inner work to overcome the patterns and such that contribute to self-neglect, deprioritization, not setting boundaries, difficulty speaking up for yourself, difficulty putting yourself first, all of those things that can really perpetuate, no matter where you go, cycles of burnout. I like to say that wherever you go, there you are. And so that's why the inner work is so important. And it's what I love to help my clients with inside Sanctuary. So if this is you, if you are burned out, looking to make a change, but finding yourself stuck, reach out to me. I'd love to help you with the inner work and the outer work, the transition that you want to make, as well as becoming the person who creates a different, more positive life and work wherever you go, because that's who you are. Take care.